Hello, my name is Mike Guilfoyle, ARC Advisory Services. I'm here today with Steve Blackwell, Global Tech Leader, Amazon Web Services for Manufacturing. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Mike. Pleasure to be here.
So, when we talk about industrial data, there are a lot of terms that come up, and one of them that comes up the most is IT ops or global data operations. It's as if people want to take IT practices and push them into operational data. Can you explain what you're seeing there and what your company's presence is around data and how they're handling it?
Yeah, sure. So we see, within the transformation of, manufacturing, the manufacturing engineers, the process engineers, they really want to get access to the data and use that data. And we define them as kind of like the citizens and analysts and so forth. And really what we're doing is we're working with our manufacturing customers to be able to get them to, one, get their data into a platform that enables them to be able to use that data, but more specifically, be able to use the data to address their specific use cases around, production optimization, energy management, or looking at yield or quality management, whatever it is. And we kind of bring that together through what we call the industrial data framework, which enables manufacturers to be able to ingest their data from the relevant data sources, be it from the shop floor environment or from their enterprise applications, be able to store that data in its raw format, and then have the tools and be able to apply their processes to be able to act on that data to drive those kind of business outcomes. And that's really kind of looking at to bring in also the best practices that a lot of manufacturers are built from an enterprise IT point of view. So how they actually do data management, data lifecycle management, and actually how they bring security around that data. And that really kind of enables them to then apply the ability to do data ops within their manufacturing world.
So that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
One thing that you mentioned is really two different roles. So you have the folks that have higher data skills, your data analysts, your data scientists, and then you have the subject matter experts who actually know what the data means.
Yeah.
What has been Amazon Web Services' approach to dealing with that spectrum of user?
Yeah, so we see two types of manufacturers. There's ones that they have those skills, those capabilities as described, and they're very much, they may want to kind of build, their solutions that address, their analytical problem statements. And this is where they will use, AWS native services like AWS IoT Sitewise, some of our analytical services like Glue, Amazon Athena, or if they're looking into machine learning, they may be using some of our AWS for industrial services, like Lookout for equipment as part of building a predictive maintenance solution. We then have the other manufacturers that very much like to buy solutions. And this is where we work with our partner network and enable those partners on the AWS cloud to provide those kind of capabilities to them.
So when you think about data and where it comes from and then where it goes to, what's your vision around those roles and the use of the data from an edge environment to the cloud and back again?
Yeah. So, we look at, capabilities of ingesting the data, storing the data, and acting on that data. And that's across what we call, hybrid cloud, which is, the industrial edge within the four walls of the factory and within the AWS cloud. And you need capabilities in, all parts of that. So, from, ingesting that data, they can do that natively using AWS services like AWS IoT Greengrass, or they can work with like one of our partners, like Highbyte, for example, to be able to ingest the data, build a unified namespace when the data's then available in the AWS cloud for the analytics and so forth. And then when we then get into the cloud, and we actually want to start performing those analytics, again, they've got the access to the AWS services, or we then have some other partner solutions like Seek, for example, or Siemens with their MindSphere and Mendex applications to be able to process, analyze, and utilize that data.
Okay, so let's imagine three different types of companies, because I see this all the time in the market. Company one is really trying to just figure out how to get a handle on their data. they're not even understanding what strategy around data means. They're just trying to figure out where is it, what does it mean, what should we do with it.
Yeah.
That's company one. Company two has some form of strategy in place. They have some form of connectivity. They're doing some base analysis. They're improving parts of their operation.
Yeah.
And then company three has a comprehensive strategy, but really is looking at this competitive differentiation around data.
Yeah.
Could you, for each of those three companies, describe really what are some good steps to accelerate how they use industrial data?
Yeah, sure. So for that first scenario, we very much kind of focus on a use case approach to using that data, which is, what data do we need to be able to answer the question, and also where is the value in that actual data, and that allows them to really kind of start small, focus on delivering value quickly. We always look kind of like a 4 to 6 week kind of time frame of proving out, does this data give us the value that we're actually looking on, and it may be that once they've actually got to that point and they've seen the value, they may actually go, okay, we may now start rolling this out, or we may then move on to the next use case following the same approach. The second scenario, we normally see that they've got to a point where they've actually started to build some tools, processes around those initial use cases. And it's really starting to put, rigor into what they're actually doing so they can start doing it actually at scale. And that may be rolling out multiple use cases within a single plant, or it may be taking those use cases that have proved and they want to actually roll it out over multiple plants or factories within their manufacturing enterprise. And then really that final phase is where we see they've got the tools, they've got the processes, they've actually trained the people, which is kind of key. We can't admit the fact that you need the skills to be able to use this. And they're really looking at to actually start building kind of a marketplace where they can provide the kind of capabilities to the whole of their enterprise and very, very self-service in kind of using their data.
Steve, thanks so much, as always, for spending time with me today. And thanks for Amazon Web Services. This is Mike Guilfoyle from ARC Advisory Services with Steve Blackwell from Amazon Web Services. Thank you.